Howdy Explorers, I'm Joe. Today we're going to do the fourth installment of the Spooktoberfest celebration of ghost stories. And geographically we're going to move from the eastern shore, southern Maryland, up to a more central location just outside of Baltimore. Sorry for anybody in Ellicott City that doesn't want to be associated with Baltimore, but I mean geographically it is close. Today we're going to be talking about a place that for locals of the area is definitely nowhere that's a strange place. We're going to be talking about the Hell House in Patapsco State Park near Old Ellicott City, just south of Baltimore. There are ruins that could be taken from medieval Europe. In the early 1800s, due to the advancement of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, probably going to do a video on that later, the Ellicotts had established both a mill, which is where Ellicott City gets its name, and a hotel. In 1866, that hotel failed and the land was sold to the Congregation of the Most Holy Redeemer. Fun name, right? St. Mary's College was built in 1868 to train men to become ready to be members of the clergy. The grounds were poised in a wooded area above Ilchester and modern historic Ellicott City. The school ran for some time with no complaints. Well, public complaints, that is. In 1972, the school was closed, officially due to the declining number of attendees. Reportedly only 10 students were in the last graduating class. For whatever reason it was sold, it was closed, and the land was due to be sold to a developer, but for whatever reason that never happened. Towards the end of the 1980s, rumors started to spread about why the school had closed down. Everything from a serial killer priest killing students of a nearby school to a priest from the college committing abuse and misconduct. While nothing was ever officially proven, many who interacted with the property reported a feeling of just something being off, a feeling that made them ill at ease, something not right. I'm sure everybody's kind of felt something like that before. After a large unexplained fire destroyed the remains of the seminary the day after Halloween 1997, rumors multiplied. The devil himself was said to use the grounds as a portal to hell. This is possibly where the name Hell House came from. The ruins were even less cared for after the fire, and gradually brush and overgrowth threatened to consume them. It was about the same time that teens and the like claimed the spot to drink and, do whatever it is that teens do. It's from these teens, who grew up to be adults, where many of the stories come from today. People report being able to hear voices in the buildings of former students destined to walk in the halls, trying to tell anybody they can find of the horrors they experienced there. Others report figures running all over the woods as if trying to escape torment received at the buildings. Still others report that at the top of the altar, a sudden inexplicable feeling of terror and dread washed over them, prompting them to leave and never return. Regardless, the woods around the property of Hell House certainly raise hairs on the back of the neck. The buildings, adorned in graffiti, oddly in patterns of black and white before they were torn down, certainly put visitors ill at ease. The religious nature of the buildings, coupled with an active imagination and some intervention from a cranky property caretaker in the late 90s, probably contributed to the overall sense of something being wrong. Regardless, Hell House was a staple of spook and fright. I say was because unfortunately in the last few years the former college buildings have been destroyed and razed to the ground. The site today is barren except for some ruins that are just over the sand line, and while that makes sense from a public safety standpoint, it does close a chapter of local lore and legend. I find this story pretty interesting because it's almost certainly, almost like one of those Scream type movies, at least how it starts. It's almost certainly kids just being in the woods doing whatever it is they do, bonfires, drinking, whatever, and then they're already in a heightened sense of sort of discomfort because, at any time they think that the police could come, the law can show up and shut them down. So they're already paranoid. They're in a strange woods. And so there's imaginations are running wild. So it's almost certainly got to do with that. Nothing in any of the, like I said, official records had anything about foul play or anything like that. The school just legitimately didn't have enough students, so they closed it because it was a drain on resources for that congregation, parish, whatever. So this one is more of an urban legend than an actual haunted spot, but still, it's nice to be able to kind of have such a well-known place on the channel. I only wish that I was able to go when everything was still up. That it would have been kind of cool and creepy to see. So I'll try to find as many pictures as I can of everything in all its glory and put that on for you guys to see. And if anybody listening's ever been to Hell House in its peak, or at least when everything was still standing, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Penultimate State Park. I'm always looking for new parks to run at, stuff like that. So yeah, that's the video. Thanks for sticking around. I was Joe, and I'll see you in the next one.